Hi, I'm Eric. I filmed my phone and welcome to another video. Today we are going to listen to Be the Cowboy by Mitski. I am not very familiar with Mitski, though I got requested to react to this, and I'm really excited to dive into her work. Like, the only songs I've heard of hers is, I think it was Goodbye My Danish Sweetheart. My friend choreographed to it, so I've heard that song before, but don't really recall it that well because I wasn't in that piece. And then also, I think I may have heard a little bit of Nobody, which is on this album. So I think I listened to that on like TikTok or something like that, but I'm not mainly on TikTok all that much. So it's quite possible I've really only listened to like maybe 15 seconds of it, and it would have been like months ago. So definitely this will be a pretty new experience, and I really don't know what I'm expecting to hear. But even though I have no idea what this album's gonna be like, I'm really excited to get into it. Anyway, let's get into it. Track number 1 is Geyser. Oh, very suspenseful, almost like churchy. You're the one I want. Oh, it's speeding up a little bit. I'm very excited about that. Oh, switched. Hear it call to me. It's not real. I will be the one you need. She's determined. Oh, definitely you can hear the rock coming out of there. So that was a Geyser, and what an interesting way to start out. Like, at first it sounded almost like, like very harmonic, like very like church like organ, and then you end and you hear this like cool, like definitely amped up guitar. And that's so like interesting to have that shift over time. Lyrically, it seems that it's her being like, oh, I'm gonna be the one you need. And like there's some desperation that it's like that determination, like that she doesn't have other options. I look up lyrics for a lot of artists who do these types of lyrics and go all over the place and make it difficult for me to understand on a first listen. So it seems when I'm looking them up that it's a lot about like how she puts her musicianship first in her life, and like that's really interesting to me, and I'm really excited to see how that musicianship and her focus on being a musician pays off in her music. Track number 2 is Why Didn't You Stop Me? Ooh, faster. Why won't you chase after me? Why didn't you stop me? You should have come after me. Oh, this is interesting instrumentation, but I really like it. Oh, it feels like we're kind of building with that in the background. Oh, kind of like faded out. I do like this instrumentation though, like when it comes back it just sounds nice. Oh, that was a shift, and I really like where we're at now. Oh, we built and now it's in the forefront. Oh, interesting way to end. So that was Why Didn't You Stop Me? And I really like that production. I'm a big fan of upbeat. The like percussion in the background, the really fast, very much reminded me of Dancing on My Own. I think by Robin, I think that's the name of the artist. Like, I'm not very familiar with them, but like it felt like that, and so it definitely gives that, very like art pop kind of vibes, and that's a vibe that I can get down with very well. Like, it was fun. And lyrically, it's about like, why didn't you stop me? Like, I don't want to be alone. I know I'm the one who's causing myself to be alone, but you could have stopped that. And like, yeah, it's kind of like deflecting the blame from herself and onto like her partner or her former partner. And like it's an interesting sentiment, and I think like sonically I really like it, and I think I'll like the lyric components more as I listen more. Because most of these songs are under 3 minutes, like I don't really sit with a lot of the song for a while, which is like cool that we get like a taste of a lot of different things in this short amount of time that we're gonna be spending on this project. But like at the same time, it's like, oh, you can't really just sit and enjoy it for like 4 to 5 minutes, which like, yeah, different moods, different vibes, and different prerogatives that Mitski's taking versus another artist who does longer songs. Track number 3 is Old Friend. Oh, this is a nice little like slow acoustic sound. I'll be around Sunday if you'll meet me. Oh, we're bringing in that very like harmonic sound, much like the first song. I haven't told anyone, just like we promised. Oh, there was some secret thing. Meet me at the diner and we'll get some coffee. Oh. So that was Old Friend, and that was a nice little like calmer track, about her and a secretly relationship that she calls that person old friend because they don't speak about that stuff. And like very like up my alley of the artists I listen to. Like I think it sounds very similar to like a Hands Clean or Flinch off of Alanis's Under Rug Swept. Like that feels like very along those lines of like an ex where it's like they bother you because you still think about them a lot, but like also like it seems like she does have a more positive relationship than I guess Alanis does with those people that she references in those songs. But like it's still very much like an illicit affair kind of thing. I don't think they still like are doing things in love, but it sounds like at least Mitski still definitely has feelings for this person, which is unfortunate when they aren't yours to have those feelings for. Track number 4 is A Pearl. You're growing tired of me. Oh no. Oh, I love how we build with some drums. Gets me into it. Oh, okay, Mitski. It left a pearl in my head and I roll it around. Oh, switch into that, that electric guitar. Oh, I like her muffled vocals. I'm a big fan of muffled vocals. Oh, she seems like she's ranting a bit. We like that. You roll it every night. Oh, she's really thinking about them. Just to watch it glow. He has a supercut. So that was A Pearl. And oh, I really like that song both sonically and lyrically. Sonically, it's got muffled vocals. I have realized lately that muffled vocals really just hit, and I'm a big fan of them. I also just like the production of it. I feel like it's gonna sound amazing in headphones, and so I really like it now, but I think I'm gonna like it even more later. And then lyrically, like, it's about like this toxicness in you where you look at something you don't talk about to your partner and share with your partner that's part of your like identity that you're trying to work through, but instead of actually working through it, you're just like looking at it and saying, oh, this is beautiful. And that feels like a personal attack, but I will take that attack because it sounds so beautiful and it makes me think, hey, you should share how you feel about certain things. Like if there's something in your past that is toxic and you need to work through, like, and you have someone who can help you work through that, like, you should really like try to actually work through that and let them in and help you, which I think is a really cool message, and I really appreciate it that she's bringing that in here. And also, it's just a lovely, sonically, a very lovely track. Track number 5 is Lonesome Love. Oh, I like this groove. Feels a little like Mirror Ball. Oh, high and mighty. Nobody butters me up like you do. Nobody me like me. Okay. Why am I lonely for lonesome love? Oh, very pretty way to fade out. So that was Lonesome Love, and I liked it. Definitely felt more stripped back, acoustic, very folklorian, and like it just felt nice, like very sonically appealing. Lyrically, I also found it very interesting. Like it's about her trying to get over her ex and show up and be like, yo, I look good and I don't need you. I'm all high and mighty in my high heels. And he literally says hello, and she's like, and she already like loses and caves once again. And like there's some really good gems of lyrics, like the fact that nobody butters her up like he does, but also nobody her like she does. So that means he ain't good at it. He ain't good. And like that she's very much paying for the taxi ride home. Not only is she actually paying the fare of the taxi, but also like she's paying the price of, caving. And I don't like that she blames herself. Like I tend to like a lot of artists whose songs end up being about blaming themselves, but I don't like that they do actually blame themselves. They deserve, better thoughts about themselves and much greater self-worth than it seems like they have oftentimes, at least in their music. And like, yeah, I think it's a song I'll like. I think it'll also sound better in headphones. I think that's typically the albums that you all request to me, is their songs that sound good like on a speaker, but they sound amazing in headphones. Track number 6 is Remember My Name. Oh, okay, this is how we're starting out. Gave too much of my heart tonight. I need somebody to remember my name. Oh, I like how that just all came in. Finally call it heaven. This is some nice like soft rock, and I'm a fan. I need something bigger than the sky. Oh. Oh. So that was Remember My Name, and we transitioned to like very just rock, and I thoroughly enjoyed that shift. Like it just feels so like good. It very much suits the vibe of the song about trying to be immortal or just have a legacy or dynasty. Like you're the baddest and you're worth it. Like Rina Sawayama vibes here. Like I very much see, like, yes, this makes sense with like what we've gotten in the few tracks beforehand in terms of like the lyrics of like I want, a legacy, I want to be loved, like that kind of feeling. But like the sonics are just very different, and I honestly really like this. I really like that rock. It definitely brings a lot more power to what she's singing. And while I'm a little sad that it took us this long to get into that kind of groove, like I'm glad it's here. Track number 7 is Me and My Husband. Should she just start with a sigh? Oh, is this some good piano here? I like that. All the things I have seen will be gone. Dang, that's a little depressing. Me and my husband are doing better. Like, is she actually married? We're sticking together. Ooh, I'm glad we have a happy, committed relationship. When he walks in, I am loved. Oh, I'm glad she found that. Oh, sing, Mitski. Okay, that's a way to end. So that was me and my husband. I was wrong. I was wrong. Y'all, she's not married. She don't have a husband. Like, and this song is like, it fools you with how nice the sonics are and very upbeat tempo and generally like happy feelings. But the lyrics are like, oh, it's like portraying like a suburban housewife who might not be happy in her marriage. And I'm like, what? People be fooling me, honestly, on these tracks. Like, I was like, oh, me and my husband, we're doing better, we're sticking together. I'm like, that sounds so great. But apparently, it's like, oh, I'll take a few breaths of life for the moment and then I'll be nothing forever. Like, I am going to stick by my husband, but I don't know if I fully enjoy that. And so there's, I'm sure, very uncertainty that happens when you're in a marriage. Like, that would make sense. I don't know if she's trying to portray it as this wife is like thinking about it like just randomly, or like if it's like a regular thing because the husband's doing something problematic or something, or she's just not really into him. I don't know. Like, it's a character, it's not a character I made or I'm fully familiar with yet. So please let me know what your thoughts are. Track number 8 is Come Into the Water. Ooh, this got slow and mellow. Are you waiting to touch me? I didn't know I had a dream. Oh, she saw him and that's when she had her dream. Oh, that's a way to end. So that was Come Into the Water, and that was a very like slow type of song. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Afterwards from Arca's Kick 1. Like, I feel like a similar sensation. It feels similar colors in my head. I don't know if those songs really sound very similar, like actually, but like they give me very similar energy, and I think I would listen to them at very similar times. And so, like, it's definitely not the mood I currently feel right now, but like, I definitely could see me liking it. It's not upbeat at all. It doesn't have like a lot of percussion or typical factors that I typically really vibe to and really love in alternative music. But like, I'm still like on the fence and I think I need to listen to it more. It's also a minute and a half, so that makes it a little bit harder to actually sit with it. Track number 9 is Nobody. Oh, we started kind of more upbeat. I opened the window to hear sounds of people. Venus, the planet of love, was destroyed by global warming. Okay. Oh, seems like we're building to a full like chorus. Give me one good honest kiss. Oh, I like that build, and now we're just doing Nobody. Yes, this is the part that I heard on TikTok at one point. Oh, see, those drum rolls just really hit. Still nobody wants me. echoing theme. I like the weird percussion there. Oh, she slowed down the nobodies. Nobody, nobody, nobody. Oh. Did she just change keys? It sounds like that. Oh, we slowed down again. R.I.T. period. Ooh, interesting. So that was Nobody, and wow, I really am glad I've now heard that song in full because, like, the kind of like okay part is what the TikTok part is. Otherwise, it's like so much more interesting and so much more a jam. Like, I really like the speed of it. Like, I really like all the drum fills and any drum rolls that happen. And I like that each time the Nobody chorus happens, like, it's different. Like, the first one is that fast paced kind of vibe. Then it goes into that slow, really interesting. And then it gets, like, even more interesting. I think I like the third of the song the best, but I also really like really all parts of it, and I like that we go through a whole experience. She really was like, I know this song's gonna be over 3 minutes, which is not normally what I do on this album, but hey, I'm gonna make it worth your time. And honestly, I'm glad she made it feel like a fully composed song. Some of these other songs, while I do like them, they do sometimes feel like they were like thoughts that didn't get to, you know, full fruition on this album, and then they're just like a little bit of teaser, I guess. But like this one feels like we have a full song here, and I'm really a fan of it. Lyrically, it's pretty straightforward. It's like, I'm so alone, like, I'm just feeling very lonely. I don't think anyone wants to love me, and I'm sure, like, that's a very regular feeling, especially if you watch my videos, you may have mental health concerns because I feel like that's the brand I end up attracting. So, like, definitely, like, it's definitely a relatable message to me, and I'm sure it's a relatable message to many people, especially people who listen to Mitski. So, like, I'm glad she's sharing her thoughts with the world. Track number 10 is Pink in the Night. This is very ambient to start. This feels almost like a dream-like sequence. I hear my heart breaking tonight. Oh, that imagery. Every drop of rain singing I love you. Oh. I like this kind of building like speed with the I love you, I love you. Oh, we really brought this little chill beat in. Oh, shift. Can I try again? I don't think I kissed you right before. That and again very much felt like the chorus of I Love Yous. Oh, that's a cool way to fade out. So that was Pink in the Night, and that was a very dreamy song, like very much still about like longing and loneliness. Like I'm glowing pink because I'm infatuated with you, but like it's not reciprocated. I know I loved you before and that we kissed before, but I want to try again. And like, I hope that it ends up being mutual at some point. Like, based on the rest of this album, doesn't seem like that. But, you know, I'm optimistic for her. And at least she got a really, like, dreamy, really, like, sonically appealing song out of it. Track number 11, A Horse Named Cold Air. Oh, we're starting off pretty stripped back here. Okay, there's the title. Her raw piano ballads, like, definitely can't clearly hear what she is saying though, because the piano's so strong. She's traveled a long way. Oh, she's holding a lot of notes out here. It's impressive. Oh, that's over. So that was a horse named Cold Air, and apparently there's like 7 lines of lyrics pretty much. So that's probably why it was difficult for me to understand everything, because it was all so slowly delivered. But like I really like the lyrics when I look them up. It seems like she's comparing herself to like a racehorse who's like older now, and like has now realized, looking back on its life, that it's really just been circling a racetrack. Like it hasn't really gone that far. It's very much circled the same old thing. And for her, it seems like she's circling the same loneliness and these same themes. And I assume she's referencing also her previous albums, because this isn't her first project by any means. So, like, wow, that can get a little bit emotional. Like, yeah, like, it definitely makes you reflect on your life and being like, am I just doing the same thing over and over again? Or am I evolving? Am I growing? Am I happy? Like, those more important questions to really ask yourself. Sonically, it is pretty stripped back, and at least so far, Mitski ballads, like, I'm definitely much more of a fan of her more hard hitting songs. And like, I definitely need to listen to those ballads in headphones, because it just really distorts the sound on speaker, like to a point where it's like, I don't really know if I like this yet. And so I definitely need to listen to it more in order to see if I actually like it. But lyrically, I really do enjoy the thoughts she's spreading here. Track number 12 is Washing Machine Heart. Oh, we've really upped the tempo. I thought maybe we'd kiss tonight, so I didn't wear my normal lipstick. Toss your dirty shoes in my washing machine heart. I know who you pretend I am. Oh, why not me? This is so groovy. I'm a big fan. So that was Washing Machine Heart, and I really liked that sonically. Really, like, I'm a big fan of Mitski's upbeat. She knows how to make an upbeat song sound good, even if it's emotional and sad. Like, I'm an upbeat type of listener, and so like I very much enjoy her putting her sad emotional stuff into a package that's really like kind of catchy. Lyrically, the song explores how she's kind of changing herself to be a different version for her partner, and she knows who he pretends that she is, but she's asking herself and her partner, why not me? Why can't you just like pretend that I'm actually me and say I'm actually me? Like, am I not good enough? And like, those are definitely questions that we ask ourselves when we're doubting ourselves in a relationship. But also, like, maybe the person is just trash. Like, that's definitely a possibility. Like, men suck, just in general. I really like the toss your dirty shoes in my washing machine heart. Like, because you should not really be putting shoes pretty much in a washing machine. Like, if you're worried about damaging your washing machine, maybe if it's a really strong washing machine, maybe you'll be okay. But like, overall, like, baby, bang it up inside. Like, she's like putting her partner's needs before her own, and also like reducing herself to, a machine. And while it could be an extraordinary machine, like, it could also be like just like not feeling and not being emotional towards yourself and not allowing yourself to express emotions, and that's not really that fun. Track number 13 is a Blue Light. Oh, oh, we just went into this. You're walking around the house naked? Alanis reference? Oh, we slowed down here, but it's kind of hard to notice at first. Are you that blue light? I don't think I know what that means. is this ending? So that was Blue Light, and that's a very interesting song. Like, it's about unraveling, and just like, lyrically, it talks about this unease and this sense of unraveling. Like, it's also like very much like in the sonics of it, like when we start realizing that the beats kind of like faded out and we're like just going some tempo that we don't really know, like definitely can see that it's a full immersive experience. I think as a full immersive experience, however, I think that's a headphone listen. Like, I don't think this speaker does it any justice. I don't think any speaker really will. Like, that sounds very much like a song that was made for the headphones, and so I'm excited to see how that sounds. The first couple of lines are like, somebody kiss me, I'm going crazy, very much like Nobody. And then, like, I definitely feel like the Alanis Jagged Little Pill moment of the walking around naked in your house, but definitely different vibe. Like, You Learn is very much a happier song or a positive, optimistic song, whereas this one is like, I'm walking around the house naked, like, don't know what to do, like, spiraling down, which is, kind of opposites, going up versus going down. But like, I appreciate the reference of alternative artist to alternative artist. Track number 14, last track on this album, Two Slow Dancers, and it is pretty much twice as long as most of the songs on this album. Oh, I like those synths coming in. Does it smell like a school gymnasium in here? Ew. It's funny how they're all the same. Yeah, ew. What have you done so many times? It would be 100 times easier if we were young again. Where are the two slow dancers and we're the last ones out? Oh, bringing back those synths and the harmonic stuff from earlier in the album. I see that. Oh, do you guys hear that? Wow. We get a few years and then once it's back. Interesting. To think that we could stay the same. Oh, we're fading out very softly. So that was two slow dancers, and what a way to end the album on a very like slow, like very dream-like song. Like lyrically, it's about, two people coming together at a school reunion and sharing that moment of like a slow dance again, much like they probably did when they were teenagers at school, and like, probably went together like as a prom dates and that kind of thing, and like living that, but now they're like adults and they have like, mess and complications, and maybe, they're in other relationships now. Maybe they're like going through something really tough and like a lot of life mess. And for a second, they're, choosing to live in that moment of slow dancing with the person you love and pretending you're young again and that all your dreams can come true. And I think that's like a very like kind of depressing thing to be like, oh, your dreams can't come true, when like there are people whose dreams have come true. Like, yeah, it's sad that she feels that very pessimistic vibe, but it is a very like pretty song. Like, it is a sonically appealing song, and I think it's very interesting how we end on this. Like, I definitely feel like slower songs typically end an album, and like that checks out here. But like after doing songs that are like under 2 minutes or just over 2 minutes, and then you're like, oh, I'm gonna make a pretty much a 4 minute song here. It doesn't feel like it takes like a long time or anything like that, but it's just so interesting that like she decides, hey, I am going to put this song on the album after you've just gotten little tastes of everything, and here's this really like slow ballad that's a little somewhat like happy, not really happy, but like there is a little bit of like, you know, melancholy in it, that there is some happiness to be had in this moment. I also looked up her age because it was, you know, about coming to terms with like older age, and she is 30. Like Taylor Swift is like older than her. Like I don't understand when younger artists, like pretty much people who are getting to like 30 or whatever, like are talking about like, oh, I've come to terms with being old and I wish I was still like young. Like, what? You're like 30. Like, I know I had this gripe on Adele's 25 album where she literally references being young, or that was a million years ago. Like, she sings very much like she is from like the 80s or the 70s, or like she's been around for a long time, when in fact like she isn't, and she's still young. Like she still got it. Like she sings, but like her narratives are very much like from the perspective of, oh, I've been in this rut for like a really long time. And I feel like Mitski does something very similar here, where it very much is like, I am forever lonely, nobody loves me. And I'm like, you are 30. Like many people find their loves after that. Like plenty of people get married or even find their relationship after 30. So like I get that she has a sense of longing and that sense of, oh, really no one is going to love me and I'm going to be alone forever. But like at the same time, like it there's something interesting about artists that aren't really that old acting like they are really old. And I think it's something to investigate. It's not something that makes immediate sense to me, but like I'm sure it makes sense to other people. With that said, we have finished this album, and I have to say this was a very interesting first time listening to Mitski. I think the first thing I was like so surprised about is that there's so many just short songs on here. Like I was like, oh, how long is this project gonna be? And it's like 32 minutes. I'm like, okay. And then it's like, oh, by the way, there's 14 songs within that. And I'm like, oh, because when I think of a 30 like minute album, I think of maybe like 8, 9, maybe 10 tracks. But they're like, nope, we're gonna give you 14. And I'm like, oh, okay. And I definitely vibe to a lot of them for sure. But one, I think I need to listen in headphones. That will be helpful. But second, I didn't really get to sit with many of the songs on the project, like on a first listen, because there's not much repetition within it. Like, it's very much like I have this message to share. I go start to finish, which is very cool, very alternative, very much like you're not gonna have to sit through the same thing several times. But like at the same time, it's like, oh, I can't really like review hearing the same thing like 2 or 3 times and be like, oh, do I like how that sounds? Like I can't really do that on a first listen. So I definitely will be listening to this project multiple times, maybe even more than I normally do before uploading this video, just because I am curious about what I will encounter and discover more of once I've listened to each of these tracks multiple times. It's also a pretty short album if I listen to front to back, so like I'm not like really concerned about, oh, this will take up a lot of my time. It's really like, oh, this is something that will help me get more acquainted with the project and actually, you know, have much more concrete thoughts to share with you. I think the album is lyrically very consistent in that longing and desire, but definitely the sonics there are very different. Like I definitely lean more towards Immediately right now on the tracks that have much more upbeat, much more in your face production, like rock related production, like the dreamy production, much more than the stripped back production. She can do ballads for sure, but like they definitely don't hit as hard as some of the other ballads I've listened to on other projects of alternative artists. So like, yeah, I think I'm gonna have to get used to it and also just like listen to it more before I come up with the final like ranking and figuring out what songs I'm going to take from this project and listen to regularly. With that said, here are some of my favorites. So the top tier are the songs that I love, the standouts, the ones I'm going to be playing over and over again. Songs in the middle are songs I like. I'll be adding them to my playlist, but I might not be listening to them nearly as much as some of the other tracks on this album. And songs at the bottom are just not really my thing. Doesn't mean they're bad songs, doesn't mean they can't be your favorite song. Just means it's probably not for me. It might be some of those slower acoustic things that like I just don't vibe to as much as some of the other tracks. And that's totally okay. We're allowed to have our own opinions. If you like this video, please like it, please comment down below so that you can react or listen to next. Please subscribe to my channel if you're not already and you'd like to be. And thanks for watching. This is TurtleStormer. Catch you later.
It's storming turtles from out of the sky. Turtles, don't need to know why. Just smile big, open your eyes. It's storming turtles from out of the sky. Turtles, don't need to know why. Just smile big, open your eyes.